6 months. Because I remember, so we were going to start a podcast together, and it was only a mic. We had mic stands right here.
Sure.
And it was just, we didn't have the arms or any of that. And 6 months later, a couple thousand. But yeah, so thank you for being on the episode once again. If you guys don't know, this is the Alan Hinson. Welcome on the show, brother. How we doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We've known each other for what? I mean, pretty much my whole life.
Quite a while.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, years and years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And I think you helped us find the land for that house we're going to build potentially over at Hoover, right?
Yes.
That was Dang. So that was years ago.
Yeah,
that was
years
before
ago.
That was before COVID. So is that something that's like common for you? Like find people land around the city and whatnot?
Yeah, it's not unusual. People are looking to, build their dream home.
Yeah.
So I'm helping. I have a closing in a week on a 9-acre parcel that didn't exist a year ago. A year ago, it was part of another property, and they wanted to split off a part of the property to make a new lot next door, and somebody's going to get to build a dream home. They actually live in Singapore right now, so the closing is international, and they'll actually close remotely. From Singapore.
How does that even work? How do you close remotely? I'm a beginner in real estate. I don't know nothing really about it like that. So how do you close like remotely?
Documents have to be notarized, and especially loan documents if you're getting a loan. So they now can do a digital notary, which you used to have to sign in person in front of somebody, a notary, and it's a designation that you get to be a notary. But this is my first e-notarized closing.
Wow. Congrats.
So,
you made $800 million in sales. I'm looking at this right now.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Started in 1993. How did you figure out that real estate was something that you were, interested in? Like, what about real estate was intriguing you? Like, that's crazy.
Do you want me to tell you a story?
Whatever.
You want to know the truth?
How did you get into real estate?
Well, the truth is, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got out of college. I graduated 3.5 years from Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I played golf. I was a touring golf pro for a number of years.
You were a golfer like that?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that. I was reading it. I was like, wow, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
So he was nice.
Not very successful at it, but
professional.
I gave it a go.
Yeah.
Got my amateur status back after that. And but it was time to go to work. My wife and I were pregnant with our first child. And I had some friends who were in real estate. One particular friend. And he was doing okay at the time, and I had an opportunity to start with New Albany Realty when New Albany didn't exist really, at least not what it is today.
Yeah.
So I went and got my real estate license, and went and worked under a broker, a guy named George Pryor, at First Intercontinental Realty, which was the first real estate brokerage for New Albany Realty, and now it's New Albany Realty.
Yeah. Wow. You made $800 million in sales.
No, I sold $800 million.
You sold.
Yeah.
Sold $800 million. That's still crazy. That's still incredible.
You want to hear an interesting stat I read yesterday? In Palm Beach, there were roughly $1.2 billion in sales last year.
Yeah. Wow.
In Palm Beach
alone?
In Palm Beach Island alone.
Wow.
There were 10 transactions over $50 million. 2 transactions over $100 million. So 12 of the transactions made up
$100 million?
60% of that $1.2 billion in sales.
$100 million transaction for a house?
Yeah.
In Florida?
Sure. Yeah, 150 million.
Is it beachfront at least?
It is its own island.
Oh my gosh. I need to get some money then. Wow, $100 million. So would you say, like, what state do you think for real estate like has the most potential? It also has the most growth in the past like 20 years, would you say, as a real estate agent? What do you think?
There are growing markets all over the United States. Columbus is one of them. It's one of the hottest markets in the U.S. We just are now the 12th largest metro in the United States. We just passed San Francisco in population. So there's a lot of growth here. We're only at around 2.3 million people, and I would think maybe within 10 years we could be 3 million people.
Wow.
That's a lot of growth. That's a lot of growth for a baseline investment. It could grow very well.
Yeah.
And you always got the coasts. You know, you've got California. Well, look at what happened in California.
Yeah.
So with the fires,
how's that gonna look?
Thousands of houses that are just gone.
Yeah.
Somebody's got they're going to rebuild.
And did you see what they did with the insurance? They dropped people's insurance like weeks before the fires even happened.
It was months before.
It was months before? I thought somebody told me it was weeks.
Yeah, State Farm was getting out of that market for 6 to 8 months prior. And one of the reasons was that the state of California you had to get permission to increase your insurance rates in the state. They would give you permission to raise your rates.
Yeah.
And yet your exposure is growing as the value of these houses grow. And it was a business they didn't want to be in.
And they just dropped the insurance just like that. So that people don't. Yeah. So people's houses are just gone. Like they're gone.
Gone. But not only the houses are gone, the infrastructure's gone. The water lines, those plastic lines that go underneath ground, and you have to rebuild the infrastructure, and then you have to rebuild the homes.
It's almost like you probably have heard, like California's, they're known for earthquakes too. So like even then, like would they even be prepared for a big earthquake to happen if they have this type of situations happening just with fire?
A lot of those homes that were lost in the Palisades probably weren't ready for earthquake anyways. So they were a lot of homes built in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Yeah.
And you have, they're grandfathered for building codes. If you build new, you have to build for earthquakes and all that.
So how do you think they're going to like rebuild? Like how do you, because Kellen, can you actually pull up some pictures of the fires? Like, because these are like insane.
Yeah, pull up Palisades.
Yeah.
You'll see an entire...
Did you start recording? Yeah. Okay.
Entire community is gone, yet there'll be like three houses that weren't touched.
Search. Yeah, Google. Where is it? Google, open. Press open. Just press the app. That's fine. Yeah, and then Michael. Just the white one. The white one. No, the white. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Okay, yeah. How do you spell Palisades? It's PLA or PALA and SADE. I think, or it's I. Oh wow, yeah. I misspelled that. Wow.
Yeah, there's an I in there.
All right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Just images.
Look at images.
Go to images.
Yeah. Man, that's
thousands
how
of
do you
homes.
rebuild? Like,
it's going to take.
You can exit out of that.
10 years, longer. I can't even imagine the zoning process, permitting process you have to get a permit to build a house from the government.
Wow.
And first you have to clear the site from what's there. The density of those homes is very tightly packed.
And is there a picture of like the aftermath, like getting late, like everything laid
aerial
out?
Photo of that.
Photo. Man. And the smoke, it was bad. It was like some of the worst quality. I look at the radar app. Yeah,
look at that second photo there on Instagram.
The Instagram one, click on that. Thank you. Yeah, you may have to zoom in on that. Yeah. It's low quality, but wow.
Yeah.
That's what they're dealing with right now.
That's what they're dealing with. And all those people are moving somewhere. So that's going to affect. I was reading an article this morning that
You guys out
as a percentage of your income, the second, well, like one of the second most expensive cities to live in is San Diego.
Wow.
Just
in the country?
Yeah. So as a percentage of the median income, if you had a median income, you would spend 40% of your income on your housing. Okay?
Oh, man.
And that's in San Diego. It's going to go up because people are going to go from LA to San Diego. They have to find a place to live somewhere.
It's just a disaster, dude.
So the rental prices are going to go up. The housing prices are going to go up. It's a real issue.
Yes, but I don't want to disturb, but I heard like they passed a law there, like owners, they can't raise to a certain price, like they can't like take advantage of that, like they can't like say I'm gonna triple the rent now just because they happen. I heard like they said there's gonna be a certain amount, like if you go above this, like you can't do this, it's against the law. So do you mind like telling us more about that?
I haven't read that. It's not unusual that there's rents get restricted in different cities. It happens in New York all the time. But yeah, they'll try and manage that, but it's difficult to do.
Do you have like a do you think that they're like what how do you think it started? It's kind of like it might be conspiracy theory, but like how do you think that the fire's there in the wintertime? It's dry, but how do you think that like started? Because that's just
The majority of the fires that get started are started by lightning.
seriously
There, yeah.
there. Wow,
Yep.
wow.
But they have a lot of natural areas, and are those natural areas being maintained? And it costs money to maintain them. So sometimes you get a line item, you get a budget, and an easy thing to strike off of that budget and save money would be to not pay the labor to go out and pick up dead wood and debris and clear brush like they might need to. And that's
happened a lot there. It happens every year.
every year.
Every year, especially in 2020.
Well, you know what's going to come next? Mudslides.
Oh man, this is going to get worse, and then earthquakes, and then it's ongoing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Have you closed out there in California at all?
I lived out there for a little bit.
You
when
did?
I was playing golf.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you ever like close any houses or
No,
anything
no,
like that?
No.
So is there any other place other than
I only
like
sell in Ohio.
only still in Ohio?
Yeah.
So how long you worked for New Albany?
32 years.
32 years. Wow.
33
Wow.
years now.
What is one of the best houses that you've ever closed in your entire career?
I had a funny. I had a deal close where the people swapped houses.
Swap? Like what do you mean swap?
They moved into each other's houses. I sold the one house, and then I sold the other, and they bought each other's houses.
Huh.
And you had to get the moving truck scheduled at the same time, and they left each other's houses.
It's like a cartoon. That sounds like a cartoon. That's crazy. So like,
Yeah.
So like, would you consider yourself? Are you like an interior designer kind of? Like, do you have an eye for like what looks like good? Would you say?
I do. I think I do.
You think you do?
Yeah.
I think you do.
A lot of people think
I
they
think
do.
you do. You helped us with this house, so I think you do. I think you do.
Yeah.
So, okay. What about like, what do you think sets you apart in this city and around the state?
I think success in any business is there are a few things that are super important. And one, if you're in sales, you really have to know your product. My product is New Albany.
Yeah.
My product is new construction. My product is corporate relocation, which to be able to help incoming executives in their search for homes and helping their families transition from another city, I have to have an understanding of Powell. I have to have an understanding of Upper Arlington and Grandview and Worthington and New Albany and Bexley and Dublin. You need to know all these, what makes all these cities tick.
And what goes into like a a typical sale? So you start with, you have a client that's looking for, let's say a client's looking for, what should we say? We should be like a client that's looking for what? 3-4 bedroom house, 3 bath. Maybe I'm underselling that because I don't really know real estate like that. But
I can talk generically. I've got a family with 4 kids that want to move to Central Ohio from Chicago, and they want a bit of a yard. They live in they have no yard in Chicago in their house where they live, and they probably have a $3 million house in Chicago. And they're probably looking for a $2 to $3 million house in Columbus. But inventory is very low right now. So I need to, not only you have to keep your finger on the pulse of homes as they come on the market, I know by the minute, in the different areas that they might be looking.
Yeah.
You need to also have relationships with homeowners, and you have to think, their kids have gone away to college, and I know that they just bought, because I saw them 6 months ago, and they told me they were buying a place in Naples, Florida. So maybe they're ready to sell their house and move, and it's worth a phone call to plant the seed.
Yeah.
But you need to know, again, your product. There are roughly 1,580 homes in New Albany Country Club, where I sell the majority of my houses. And I've been in all but maybe 15 of them.
Oh, wow.
At one time or another. Yeah.
Wow.
There's very few that I haven't been in at one time or another.
Wow.
So you need to be able to work through, have a sphere of influence of those homes around you that aren't on the market yet, but would be on the market, kind of a gray market.
Yeah. So would you say because I've heard this, that the Columbus market, I called you. I'm trying to get into real estate, and learn.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot that the Columbus market specifically is very, very saturated with people who are trying to get into the field. What do you say about that? Because that's what I've heard about real estate here. Yeah. It's very saturated.
The majority of the average income for a real estate agent is less than $50,000.
Wow. A McDonald's manager makes more than that sometimes.
They'll do less than 3 transactions a year.
Wow.
Are they doing it as a career, or are they kind of doing it on the side? So when real estate is very busy, you'll get more people coming into the business to say, hey, I can do that. I'd love to do that. But it's difficult to be self-employed. I start every year with 0 income and 0 guaranteed. So it's
a really risky job.
It is high risk.
High risk, but also high reward sometimes though too.
High rewards. You get to set your own schedule.
Yeah.
But you have to be disciplined. All in the same. I've been self-employed since I was in 7th grade. So I was a paper boy in 7th grade, and I delivered newspapers to an apartment complex that was across the street. And actually, I had two. Then I got a second complex. I was making bank in 7th grade.
Yeah, there you go. Self-employed since 7th grade. Wow, not many people can say that, man. Yeah. Not many people can say that. That's actually insane. So, how would you buy a house in 2025 as the client? How, for the people listening, how would you?
What's the process?
Yeah, how would you buy a house?
Yeah, I mean, find a great real estate agent to help you, advise you. You have an idea, you're going to talk with them and say, this is what I'm looking for. You might be looking for a place downtown in a mid-rise and close to the short north and all that energy and things that are going on down there.
Yeah.
So we talk about, do you want a single family home? Do you want to live in a mid-rise like the Dakota building or Park's Edge or North Bank? Or do you want to live in German Village on the south side? Do you want to live closer to Children's Hospital, which has more up-and-coming, it's more of an up-and-coming area on the south side of Columbus. So you kind of identify what it is you're looking for. I want something newer. I want something I can fix up and invest in it myself and create value.
Yeah.
and we'll start to look, and I'll start sending you things. And what do you think of this? What do you think? That's great, but not such a great. There's power lines nearby. You don't want to consider that one. Or
because you like prepare for weather too. You know, what if a tornado comes in or a lightning storm and strikes the power line and now it falls on your house?
It's more unsightly.
Yeah.
And there are things called electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs, that power lines generate. But you're also getting EMS from your phone. You're getting EMS from, you ever had a heated blanket? EMFs created. You ever see an electric can opener? You ever see one of those?
No.
So I used to have these electric can openers.
No.
Massive EMFs off those things.
Wow.
So it's a health risk that people, it's not perceived, it's an actual health risk, but it's very low.
Really?
A bit of a health risk, but it's more unsightly.
Okay. What's like going off that, like what's the strategy, like the perfect strategy or your strategy to like finding the perfect house or the perfect apartment for a client? Like what is your strategy? Because everybody has a strategy.
Yeah.
How they do things.
What are their goals?
Yeah.
So I need something fast. I need something that's perfect and I'm willing to wait. If you need something fast, and it's, I had somebody call me. I have a rental listed for a client. Mm-hmm. They used to live in Columbus. They live in Phoenix as well. They have a home in Phoenix, and they're transitioning. He's just retired, sold his business, and he's renting his house. Somebody's house burned down.
Oh
man. Or caught on fire, I should say. And they wanted to rent a house for 8 months while they rebuild their old house. So, do you need something quick?
Yeah.
It all depends on that. So, you first listen to your customer and find out what their goals are, and then you attack the problem.
What would be some of your advice to future homeowners like myself and like maybe them to approach, negotiate deals? Like what would be some of your advice or finding a real estate agent? Like what is some of your advice with that?
Well, find a real estate agent, find somebody that has time for you. Some people are just very busy with a book of business and a number of clients that they already have. And they'll have, not like myself, I have team people on my team. If I can't handle it, they'll handle it and I oversee it. So there's someone you can trust, someone that has experience, and somebody new is like I get deals together sometimes just because of my relationship with an agent on the other end. They're representing a seller and they trust me and my client because they know I've been in the business for a long period of time. I can have a conversation with the agent and it's taken at face value. In real estate, there's some real rules, and you better have integrity and you better do what you say you're going to do. And it's not a lie, because as soon as you lose your integrity in the business,
your rep's gone probably.
Your rep's gone.
Yeah.
Don't say I've got another offer coming in to try and get an offer from this other agent if you don't have another offer coming in. Yeah. Because if I tell another agent, my seller said, hey, it's okay, I'm going to tell you this, I've got another offer coming in, and if you want to get in here, you better get in here.
Yeah.
I would never say that otherwise.
Yeah.
It's, I kind of, in my life, in my business, I go by a few different rules. One, with clients, I give them good news fast. I give them bad news faster.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because it's not going to get any better if you wait longer.
Yeah.
But from a personal standpoint, you need a few things in your life. You need a partner to help nurture each other. You need a mentor to help advise you. And that could be in business or otherwise. Sometimes they're the same people, sometimes they're not. I also think you need a nemesis. Nemesis could be a baseline thing. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a principle. It could be something that you don't want to be. I know I don't want to be that, and I'm going to be this. I'm not going to be the dark. I'm going to be the light. And sometimes it's a person who is just not a good person. But you kind of identify that, and it helps you, helps guide you.
Since you've been in New Albany for like a long time, you said 32 years, right?
Yeah.
32 years. We moved, what, 2 years ago?
Yep.
I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So since then, we know Intel moving in.
Yes.
Which is that's still going on, right? So how have you seen the New Albany real estate market maybe grow or regress because of Intel and what they are bringing? How have you? Has it changed? What's
the vacant land? There's been a big grab for the vacant land. Intel's underway, and they'll start processing chips a year from now, or in 26. That timeline, maybe it's 27, maybe it's late 26. But it's not just Intel. Their first fab, it's what they call each building that fabricates chips. Call them a fab, Fab 1. They're started construction on the first of 5 fabs. And the first fab is $20 billion.
Let that sink in for a minute.
Yeah.
$20 billion.
Of 5 fabs. $100 billion investment over a period of time.
Where is this money coming from?
So, look, you've got not just the people, not just Intel and their business of making chips. You've got all the suppliers that supply to Intel to make the chips. So they're all moving to New Albany. You're going to see, and they're already, and they're buying warehouse space and building warehouse space to help support Intel, because it's their business to do that. It's the largest, I believe it's the largest construction project in Ohio's history.
Intel?
Yeah, the economic benefit is
there a picture
massive.
of the facility?
Yeah, there's probably 10 cranes there right now.
Yeah, because they did the ribbon cutting what? A year or two ago? A year and a half ago? Year and a half ago? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I want to see this. Just cancel. Because we moved out when it was before the ribbon cutting, and everybody was talking about it.
We haven't really seen the effect on residential real estate yet. The people that are coming to New Albany,
It's the one in New Albany. They're building it.
yeah,
They're building it.
you'll see that like I said, we haven't seen
Oh yeah.
that second photo.
Yeah.
Largest crane in the world's there right now, I think.
In the world?
Yeah.
Largest crane? Wow.
Yeah, they named it. I can't remember the name.
They
It's
named
something
the
very
crane?
funny.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
that hole that crane is in, that red one in the middle, is I think it was 6 stories deep and 3 football fields long.
It doesn't even look like
That was the hole. That's how big the site is. It's a 2,000 acre site.
And that's all just producing chips.
Well, they have to get down
Yeah.
to very stable soil, and then they pour concrete to create even more stability, so they can build these chips.
When did they say it was going to be done?
Well, Fab 1, they're going to start producing chips, I believe, in 26.
Wow. And is that Fab 1 right there?
Yeah, that's Fab 1.
Wow. And I heard there was like I don't know if this is true, but like they said something about the radiation, like where that's why some people were moving out because of the radiation from the chips. I don't know. Is that true? I don't know.
I haven't heard anything like that.
Because I feel like, I don't know. Just people have said that when they make the chip, it's like I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's not gamma radiation, but it's like there's some sort of radiation being emitted from the headquarters. So I That's what I've heard, and that's why people have said that they've moved out. I was talking to some of my friends around. They said that that's what their parents explained. Like, okay, I don't know if I believe that, but I'm just like, okay.
I'll have to look into it, but I've never heard that story.
But yeah, so it's impacted the market heavily.
Yeah,
It's
impacted the rental market.
you close it. That's fine.
Thank
you.
You've got a lot of the workers. There's thousands of workers there working on that.
Thousands.
Project. Thousands. A couple of
Jeez.
thousand workers there working. And they all have to live somewhere, and some of them came from other parts of the U.S. because they've worked on other fabs before. But
Wow.
yeah.
How is the taxes? Taxes obviously are still pretty high over there. I'm guessing.
Taxes are high in Ohio.
Ohio in general. Yeah.
Freedom isn't free.
Seriously, so would you say it's like how on average, how much do you think the average homeowner is paying a month, or not a month, a year?
Well, on
taxes.
a $500,000 home, you're paying around $15,000 a year, and that'll change from community to community because you vote in millage for your fire station or your school district.
Yeah.
Okay, so New Albany's is certainly in the top 10, probably in top 5, but so is Bexley and Arlington, and the difference between them, even Gahanna, the difference between a $500,000 home in Gahanna, they may pay $13,800, and New Albany might pay $15,000.
Wow. Is there like an area that of Columbus that you think is like has the most promise and is kind of like what I said looking at, I guess, like what are you most excited about for as far as future development, and is there a specific like town, city in Columbus that you're looking at that's like, okay, this might be the next New Albany or whatnot?
New Albany is very unique. I don't think you're going to see another New Albany.
Yeah.
But there's only 12,000 people that live in New Albany. We have around 16,000, 17,000 people that work in New Albany.
Whew.
You're going to see that grow.
Yeah.
And
And more
to a degree.
houses. Yeah.
I just sat. I'm on the architectural review board for the city of New Albany, and the schools just presented to us their 5-year plan over 2 stages of the new buildings that they're going to present, and additions to other buildings and updates and all of that. And it's a substantial amount of money that they're going to invest in the school district, but we'll only have one school district.
Yeah. And this New Albany.
Yeah,
So,
that's New Albany.
yeah.
You have other, Dublin has 3.
Yeah.
Olentangy has
4.
4.
About to have 5.
Is it 5 now?
About to have 5.
So you're about to have 5. So
Yeah.
it's the largest school district in
Central
Ohio.
Ohio.
I believe.
I think it's one of. I think is it the largest in Ohio? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's top 3.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
New Albany is staying small. I expect it to stay small.
Yeah. So it's like you think it's tight knit like a community? Would you say
It's
like tight knit like
Yeah.
community?
It's-
You think it's a
of
community?
course. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
special.
Yeah.
But where are the up and coming areas of Central Ohio? I see Grove City being they're having a resurgence. That's on the southwest side.
Grove City?
Grove City on the southwest side of town.
Wow.
They've seen a lot of growth in their community, regrowth. You're going to see it east. You're going to see Newark, for instance. That's going to do very well.
Seriously.
Yeah, just east of Granville, just 3 miles east. Minutes past. I mean, they abut one another.
Yeah.
I think you'll see growth there. I don't see a lot of growth in Granville itself, perhaps Alexandria, but that'll depend upon water and sewer. You'll see a lot of growth in Pataskala on the northwest side. So that would go from Route 310 all the way back to New Albany.
Do you think
Pataskala's a very large city?
have you ever watched the those reality TV shows, like I don't know if they're reality TV, like the house, like the Fixer Uppers and the Property Brothers. Have you ever watched those? So like, I have a question. Like, are those real? Because when I used to watch them all the time as a kid, is that real?
It's highly scripted.
It's not scripted,
but a lot of it's real. I mean, I think it's funny. My wife.
Yeah, how do you watch that?
Yeah. But I can't really watch real estate when I'm home from work.
And so like, what about it is like not real or scripted? Like,
well, obviously, there's a lot that goes into, especially a renovation of a property. I mean, there's it could be months. The idea that they turn it around in just a really short amount of time. It's a
little too quick. Yeah,
it's a lot of editing going on.
Yeah. So they record for like what, a year?
No, 2? I think they have crews of people, and I think they do it quickly, but it's still not. It's not like they do it in a week.
Yeah. How do you see the market, just in the country in general? I don't know if are you like following the market in the country, like certain markets? Yeah. How do you see that evolving the next 5-10 years from now?
I wouldn't project out 5 years.
3.
Yeah, I see interest rates. I believe the Fed will be cutting the federal interest rate. Federal Reserve will be cutting interest rates to the banks over the next 3 years. I think interest rates on mortgages will come down. I think as soon as they come down below 6%, you're going to see a lot of people come into the market and that have been waiting. So there's a lot of new construction going on by home builders like MI Homes and Roman Alien Hughes, who built this house, and a lot of other national builders all over the United States are building in different metros, from Charlotte to Columbus to Indianapolis to Dallas to wherever. But interest rates come down, or you'll also see builders buying interest rates down for people, but 6% money is pretty good money. In the 80s, you could have gotten a mortgage and it might have been 15%.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So mortgages went down as low as almost 2% at one time, which was almost free. Free money.
Wow.
I have a question. Do you think this industry in real estate is going to be affected by the new President Trump? He had made the law like...
It's actually a good question.
To get the illegal immigrants out of the city. Do you think this is going to affect the real estate? What do you think about that?
Sure. The immigration and all of that, yes, if people are leaving, people aren't living in houses or renting apartments. So you could see more vacancies, more apartments available, which could bring the rental rates down. But I don't know what the policy is going to be specifically, and I don't know when and if they're going to actually start deporting people. And I don't think it's going to affect the Columbus market as much as it might others. But yeah, it's an interesting political science study for sure.
Yeah. Side note, you're a sports fan, I assume, right?
Sports fan. Big sports fan.
How about Ohio State?
I was at the game.
You were at the game? Seriously?
I was at the game.
Wow. How was that?
I flew my daughter in from New York. I flew my son in from Washington, D.C. We were at the game. It's an amazing stadium.
Wow.
And it was electric. Yeah, and it was, they were coming back, and we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit, but it was special to be there, and felt so happy for all those guys. What a run that they,
I mean,
those playoff games, all those games, every team that wins over the next several years are going to have amazing. It's great for the fans, I think, to have these great games against Ohio State and Texas, and actually we kick off this season next
against
year
Texas in August 30th. Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I'll be.
That was, man. You went to the national. I wish I went. See, my dad was like, we could go, but it was a hassle, especially with what he got going on, traveling and all that. So, man, I wish I would have gone though.
I went to that game. I was at the 2014 championship game where we beat Oregon, and I was at the 2002 championship game where we beat Miami.
You was at all three?
All three.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Wow. I wish I could have gone to the 2014 when we was in California, and then I wish I could have gone to obviously this one this year. But I feel like that loss to Michigan was kind of the thing that kind of kicked off this whole playoff.
I think so too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's an amazing coaching job that Ryan Day did to turn that team around.
Yeah. Do you know him at all? Or
no, never met him.
Never met him. Yeah.
No.
Man, but that was extraordinary. Hopefully we can repeat.
Why not?
Hopefully we can repeat. So,
Julian saying,
yeah,
why not?
So you do know college football like that. You do know college. I like that. I'm a huge college football fan. So that's really all I'd be following and whatnot. I love everything about it. So the fact that we won, after a Michigan year, after Michigan's last year,
yeah,
it was, man.
It's kind of sad to turn on sports radio and they're not talking about college football today
anymore. Yeah, and now we got to wait. It's 12 days. Until the next game. Where did
Cal get spring practice? You get spring games.
But I mean, that's not. Who cares about spring games like that? It's whatever. Yeah. Where'd he go? Oh, okay. But yeah, magical season. Hopefully, I'm gonna miss the team. That was because the team was in just their focus on God. It was just legendary team, man.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad we got another chip. But yeah, so that was incredible. So you went down there. You went down there, when was the game? Monday? So were you down there Monday?
I flew in Sunday, flew out on Tuesday, and I stayed at the Notre Dame hotel.
You did? So you seen by
accident.
By accident?
It was 95% Notre Dame fans.
Seriously?
It was, it was a lot of Notre Dame fans.
Seriously?
I didn't know that.
Wow. That's fire though. That's fire. So did you have were you in a suite, or were you in the sections?
Just regular hotel room. Yeah. I'm
talking about like the game.
Oh, we were on the 40-yard line.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Great view. Wow.
Great. That stadium was amazing.
Cheap food too.
Food was great. The hospitality was amazing.
Everybody loves that stadium.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Well, I didn't love it 2 years ago.
Boy, yeah. I mean,
I was at that game too.
Yeah. You were at that game too? Seriously?
Yes.
Dang. See, I was watching it right there behind you. I was watching it right.
I couldn't. And afterwards,
that was terrible.
I couldn't get back to my hotel. I couldn't get an Uber. I ended up taking the train back north to my. We were staying in Buckhead, but this time I stayed downtown so I could walk back to my hotel room. But it was.
Oh man, it was right at midnight too.
Stroke of midnight.
Missed the kick. That was terrible. That was so bad. So since then, now we got our redemption number.
I kept getting my shots in at the Notre Dame people although they're very nice. I must say, as fans, they're always very kind and very nice. And we should all take a page from their book.
Yeah, Ohio State fans are not. Nah. Yeah.
Well, Ohio State fans are Ohio State fans. SEC fans are
passionate.
Yeah, very passionate.
It's a great way to say it, passionate. But sometimes passion can get too crazy.
Come on,
so
it's football.
But you got some people who start attacking other people, and it's
don't do that.
That's wild.
Years ago I went to Sugar Bowl to the Ohio State LSU national championship game, which we lost.
Honestly, that was 2008. Yeah.
So
I was 1 years old.
So we lost, and we're walking out of the stadium, and a dad and his son were walking toward us, and they had this look on their face, and before they could say anything to me, something catty, I said, "Congratulations on the championship."
Yeah, you're nice guy.
And the little boy, the 10-year-old boy, says, "Tiger bait."
What?
That's what they yell, "Tiger bait" at you. And I turned around. I go, "You shut your mouth!" I lost my cool. I tried to be cool.
You told a 10-year-old kid, "You shut your."
Yeah, I did.
Alan,
I know,
man.
I was out of.
You know
my
what would have
mind.
been better? You could have told him, you say, "Santa's not real, kid."
Oh, I heard that somebody said that.
I said that to their kid. Bad. That's bad. Somebody said that to another person's kid.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would you do if you're walking out of the stadium and your team just lost, or your team just lost, and Ohio State fan or whatever, or some other team fan tells your kid, as if they're younger, Santa's not real.
I can't even. I couldn't even process it.
Sir.
That is
Sir.
That is down low.
That's terrible. That's so terrible. And Ohio State fans will go to the absolute depths with that too. They will. It's bad. And honestly, any rival team will do something like that. That's crazy. So that
a little too much.
a little too much. So you pretty much go to like all the Ohio State major games, like the bowl games?
Well, we do like to go. My family, my wife and kids who are grown now, we've always enjoyed going to the Ohio State games. I've had tickets forever, and we, it's a family of people around you, and it's something something that keeps us close. So
Yeah. So you're from here, right?
yeah, born and raised,
Where'd you grow up at? Which town? Suburb?
just outside New Albany.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So you've been
in
here?
the country.
Wow.
Well, I grew up in Grove City in middle school or elementary school, and then to Reynoldsburg
Yeah.
and middle school, and then it was Licking Heights High School, which is North Pataskala, just east of New Albany. So I was out here when none of New Albany as it is today was there.
Wow.
Eagles Pizza was there.
Man.
Really nothing else.
And also shout out Eagles Pizza, man. Eagles Pizza is
I
some
may
of the
get
best
some
pizza.
Eagles Pizza tonight. I don't know.
Man, don't make me hungry. Man. See, I get the cheese pizza and I get the cinnamon pizza.
I haven't had the cinnamon pizza.
Yeah, you should try it. It's like literally like a cinnamon roll, but just pizza.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's legit. So yeah. Going back to real estate though, would you say that people or sales are starting to become more remote? And also another side question: how do you see AI, artificial intelligence, being a factor in the next couple of years with real estate? Because with the research or the surges of AI.
I'm going to an AI lecture tonight.
Seriously,
actually.
so that's where you're going. Okay, yeah.
It's at the McCoy in New Albany, but I'm sure it's going to enter the industry in different ways. I use it for editing descriptions, comments that you read. You look up properties and they have a description.
Mm-hmm.
I use that. I use AI. I'll put it in a description. I'll have AI edit that, depending on what kind of property it is. So I'll say, edit these comments to 800 characters as a luxury home sale. And they'll use adjectives that different things. I often, when I travel, I'll read descriptions from different cities and how they describe their properties, and I'll steal little bits and pieces from London, from Dallas, from LA, or wherever, New York. I love some of the descriptions that they use. There's one, what was it? Exemplar specifications throughout. This home, it was a new construction building that was going up in London, and they said outstanding specifications throughout. Kind of says it all, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to say it's got, Thermador refrigerator and, granite countertops. It just says
Outstanding.
kind of outstanding specifications throughout. I've always loved that one.
Wow. Is there so have you ever thought about with AI, how do I say this without sounding too crazy and futuristic? Being able to map out a floor plan of a house without even having to go in it. Like, have you ever thought about like something like that potentially being like happening? Like with all this, you know, do you know?
Yeah, you could do it now. You could probably do it through
VR.
VR.
Phew. Man, I didn't even.
And you know, since COVID really changed a lot of things.
Yeah, remote wise.
You know, like not unlike eBay changed things. I bought a car on eBay. It was a lot of money for a car you've never seen before, and this would have been 20 years ago, and to spend a lot of money on something you've never seen, touched, but I bought it and everything was fine because I had it certified at the Mercedes dealership in Atlanta, and then had it shipped to Columbus.
Wow!
But now people will make those kinds of transactions without thinking about it. So I've sold many homes now where people don't actually they're not there to see it, but they'll go in a contract.
Yeah.
They'll do virtual showings, and I'll have my phone and a 3-axis gimbal, so it's kind of smooth for them to look at it. Oh, wow. If I didn't forget to charge it,
and that's when they can't come to the house.
Yeah, they can't come, but I'll walk through and then still do an inspection and all that. But a lot of times they'll know that they want to be in, say, New Albany or Bexley or wherever.
What is like a typical day in the life of Alan Hinson look like here today? Like, what do you usually do every day?
It rarely starts. It rarely finishes the way you planned it to be. Tomorrow I have a 9 a.m. appointment for a signing of a contract. When I get home tonight, I actually have to send a contract out for digital signatures for a piece of ground, a 9-acre piece of ground that somebody's buying. I've 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'll make my wife coffee in the morning. I usually get up around 6. And
that's wholesome.
Yeah. I like to work out later in the day. Usually work out around 5. But tomorrow it's 9 a.m. signing. And then 10:30 I have a photos at a new house, a new listing. And I got to be there at 10 to help style the house. So, straighten up photos and all the little things that you want to do before a photo shoot. And then I've got 11:30 appointment with 2 people in my car, taking them around. I have their house sort of ready to sell. I have a buyer for their house, but they need to find a place to go. So we're going to go look at some properties tomorrow.
Wow. Okay.
Got a flight. Got a flight at 4:00 to Florida.
Again.
Then I'll be back probably I don't know if it's the 5th or the 7th to meet other clients.
You're just busy all the time.
Just stay busy.
Dude, stay busy. That's what I'm trying to do.
A lot of things in life, in your in success is, number one, answer your phone. What I might tell younger kids is all these kids that want to work remote, be in the office, because the people in the office are the people really running the business. And to get exposure to the senior leadership of a company is invaluable. You meet them at the water cooler, you meet them in the copy room, you meet them, getting a cup of coffee. So there's a familiarity with them, and they say, hey, why don't we give that job to Michael? And next thing you know, you're getting promoted.
Wow. Yeah, that's one thing I've always tried to. Well, one thing I'm trying to do this year specifically is stay busy. So when I hear your schedule, I'm like, man, I really should be doing that. Obviously, I have school. I go to school every day. I go to school at 11 o'clock every day. Yeah. And I come home at 1:40, 2 o'clock every day. After that, nothing. So I'm trying to fill my schedule, my day up, like going to the gym. I'm trying to do one of these episodes every day.
It's hard. It's hard to line.
Very hard to
line up.
So
how many episodes have you?
So I've reached out to. Well, this is my first one actually.
What? I'm your
I know.
first episode?
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is that
my gosh.
I did not expect to have an episode today. Today was actually supposed to be a practice.
Well,
so him and I,
maybe these will be the best ones.
Yeah, exactly. The best ones are sometimes the most like unscripted ones.
Yeah.
Really. Or most unprepared. Yeah. But no. So yeah, today was supposed to be a practice episode. So I didn't even know when we first.
Well, if you hate it, maybe we have to do it again.
No, yeah, maybe. I don't think I hate this. I think it's gonna be fine.
This is my first podcast as well.
For real?
So yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be the first.
Yeah. Me as well.
Yeah. But yeah, so today, like I said, already practice episode. I was supposed to just get the reps and figure out how everything works.
Yeah.
I just got this mic yesterday or today, this morning.
Your fourth mic?
Fourth mic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, hopefully one day I'm gonna use all these mics at the same time. We'll see
That'd
what
be
happens.
cool.
That would be, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so like back to your question about the clients. So I have what 12 this in February.
Lined up?
12 in
That's a
February.
lot.
So there's some times where I have 2 a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be let's say for example, let's say I had 2 today, for example. You'd be here right now, and then after you leave, somebody would come an hour later.
Yeah.
And we have another conversation. So it's like
Sure.
it's gonna be a lot of work, but I actually want to do that though because I feel like I want to keep myself busy and also want this to go far. I don't know if you ever watched Joe Rogan's
Sure.
podcast or whatever, but I'm trying to make it like that. That's why I have the screen. That's why I have the whole setup. And this honestly is perfect. This table right here, like, it's just perfect. It just all lines up. So yeah, I have about 12 so far though.
By the way, it's very comfortable down here.
Thank
too.
you.
So
Welcome back, Kellen. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. No, thank you though. Well, I don't even gotta thank me, but I mean, I try to make it as comfortable as possible with the setup and the lights and all that stuff. I'm gonna get one more light, but
yeah.
the first part of the month I try to record, and then the later part of the month, which this episode would be an anomaly to most. The later part of the month I'd be editing.
Yeah.
I have an editor, somebody who edits the videos and all that, and then release them in March. So this is probably gonna release since it's January, February. Also, if you have an Instagram, shout yourself out, and I'll put it in the I'll put it in the bio.
At the Hinson.
I'm gonna spell it right, and I'm gonna put it in the thing. But yeah, so I got you on that. I'm thirsty. But yeah, so the later part of the month I'm gonna be editing and all that stuff. So I'm gonna try to have a little bit of a structure.
You're gonna have before you like really introduce yourself to the market, you're gonna have several canned interviews ready to go.
Yeah.
So people aren't waiting for the next one.
Yeah.
That's
Because
a
I
smart
used to with older podcasts. I've had 5 or 6 podcasts that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
First one was when I was 10. Right, it wasn't good. It was about aviation news.
Be get some good flashbacks for you.
Huh?
Be some good flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then I started another one called Young Dreamers, which that was decent, but nothing was as good as this one. So I'm trying to make this one the best one yet, and actually do something with it.
Yeah,
I
think that's great. You should. And if you want to get your real estate license, just let me know. And I'll be happy to sponsor you to get your license.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That is actually something I wanted to dive into because I know we talked on the phone. I'm looking at going into real estate. After graduating high school, I'm trying. Like I said,
it's not a bad thing. Having your license is a bad thing to have, even if you're only a casual investor. But I tell you, there's the sooner you jump into the market, the better. Eventually, you jump on the ladder, right? Maybe you buy a condo, and then you rent it out. So it becomes an investment property, and you buy something else. So there are ways to build a real estate portfolio.
Yeah. So what do you think I'm gonna?
And having that passive income.
Yeah. How do you think I should talk about this a little bit? But how do you think I should go about it? I'm graduating in May. Mm-hmm. I want to get my pilot's license. I'm gonna get my pilot's license around probably finished by August. If I work consistently at it, August, maybe even September or October.
Yeah, I know it's always been a passion of yours.
Yeah, it has. And honestly, now I get to, finally, act on that.
It's impressive, and I think there's something very, I find it very interesting, but there's something very cool about flight and flying an airplane.
You should get your license, man.
I've actually flown an airplane, and it terrified me. I flew a friend's jet,
You flew a jet? Is your first time flying? You flew a jet?
I have. No, not my first time flying. The first time flying a jet.
Yeah.
I had the yoke in my hand, and it was actually a joystick. But
it was like a
it was a joystick.
It was like a VTOL type plane.
No, it was
like an actual jet.
It was a jet, like a 5-seater.
Oh wow!
And
I wish.
And he owned the jet, and he wanted to take it up for a run on a day like this, where it was very clear out. And we flew out of Columbus, and we're up by Mansfield, which is only a few minutes away, right? And he asked me if I want to take the control. He probably isn't allowed to do this, but I did. And I remember banking right, but just to bank right around Mansfield and feel the plane react to your hand. I was sweating, and I mean, it was 90 seconds that I did this bank, but you're looking at the horizon, you're looking at,
Yeah, don't beat yourself up about that. I remember my first time taking off. I remember I had what they call them? Introductory flight.
Yeah.
Where they, introduce you to the controls and all that and whatnot.
Sure.
And my instructor, I had a passion for aviation. I've always had a passion. And she just said, okay, your turn. Take control. On takeoff. So I did it.
Takeoff.
On takeoff. I took off by myself and landed by myself with a tad bit of input.
Yeah.
But
I've flown in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Not the main cockpit, but the co-pilot seat. Many times on different jets.
At this point, just get your license.
And I got to tell you, I paid a lot of attention because if this guy is going to have a heart attack, I wanted to know how to land that airplane.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not that I think I could, but I don't know.
You should get your license. You should get back into it. Or just get
what
into
license
it.
I'm going to get? I'm going to get my Florida real estate license. My next license.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But then think about it though. If you have a deal, and let's say you're here and you have a deal in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Maybe that or a client in West Virginia. I don't know how realistic that is, but let's make it more realistic. Let's say you have a client. You ever have one in Cleveland?
No, but look, if somebody's going to Cleveland, what I would do is, say you're moving to Cleveland and you say, I got to find a real estate. So what I would do for you is I would research the top real estate agents in Cleveland. I'd give a few different ones a call. Say, I've got a client coming up. They need some help. What's your capacity for helping them? And I would get back. So I'd vet them out and then get back to my client and say, look, you should talk to, Jane Smith, John Smith, John Doe, whatever, and give them a call. They've done this much volume. They're looking. They sell in the area you really want to be in, and I think it'd be a good fit.
See, but if you had your pilot's license though, I'm really gonna try to sell you. I'm trying to sell this on you.
I can fly them up there.
Yeah. See, no, or you can fly yourself up there and look for the house.
Yeah.
And then you don't gotta, you don't have to lose money on a sale. So. That's an idea. That's what I want to do.
I tend to watch my flock here in Central Ohio, and it does well.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to do when I get my pilot's license. As I want to not even just for real estate. Let's say I have a client for whatever business I do, in Nebraska.
Sure.
I don't want to have to. Got to buy my ticket. Got to pay for bags, all that type of stuff. If I have my own plane or rent my own plane and I have my license, there you go.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to having your license and the annual maintenance of that license.
See, about that.
It's extensive. Yeah, you got to know.
Yeah.
And for each different type of plane, from prop to turboprop to jet. I mean, you got to have different.
Yeah, I want my dream plane to have. Can you pull up a what's it called? It's an Embraer Phenom 100.
I think I've been on that plane before.
Of course you have.
I think I flew.
One. Phenom 100.
Is that intercontinental?
Huh?
Is that an intercontinental flight? Is that an intercontinental airplane?
Nah, it's a. See, okay, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That is my dream plane, and the reason why, because the range on it is I can get from here to Florida You can close out. I can get from here to Florida. If I can get from here to Florida, which is where I ideally want to be,
2 hours,
cool.
5 minutes.
And the baggage capacity is cool too. Like, look at the interior. Go to the interior.
Nice. 4
it's
plus
low.
a jump seat.
Yeah,
Plus 2
like
pilots.
and it's like it's a small jet. It's how much it cost? How much does it cost? It costs like $4 million, which
New.
is a lot of money.
New.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a
But
lot
you
of
get
money.
one with reasonable hours on it, you could probably cut that in half.
I think so. Like, look, okay, so it says AI.
What's that?
It says
4.6 million.
4.6 million, but I want the EV. So 4.6.
Don't look up plane costs. Do for sale. Phenom
So,
100
go
plane
to
for sale.
a website. Go to controller.com or something, and then let's see. Because there's some definitely ones for sale that I'm looking at.
Be curious to see how much it is.
Okay, so there's the hour. Okay, there you go. So that's an example right there. 2.3 or 2.4 really.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, that's not bad. Total time is 2,000 hours. That's decent. I mean, compared to 8,000. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I could. Yeah.
Or you can always lease it, right?
Yeah. You could. Yeah. 'Cause what if you want a new one, right? Like that's. But that's my ideal plane, like to fly for myself. Now I gotta get a couple licenses for that. I gotta get my. You can close out. Thank you. I gotta get my multi-engine, which means I can fly 2 engines. I gotta get my private pilot's license. That's the main thing. Then I gotta get my instrument rating.
Yeah.
To fly above the clouds and whatnot, and then the type rating so I can fly the plane. So it's a lot.
Correct.
It's a lot of licenses.
It is.
It's a lot of licenses.
It's a lot of education.
It's a lot of
You gotta
work.
know.
And
It's worth it.
Yeah, worth it is for
I know
sure.
it's a passion of yours. I'm sure you're going to do
For
it.
sure. And also one day I could take you up too. You
Let's
know
go.
what I'm saying? Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. I mean, it's the freedom aspect, right? Like it's you don't have to fly, in commercial Southwest. You can go wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go. So let's say I
Yeah.
want to go to the national championship game, for example. I
I flew home commercial from the national championship game.
Oh, you got the hookup? You flew down there on a jet?
No, not private, commercial. But I flew
yeah.
home through Tampa. I had to go south to go north because it was.
See, with the
it was
jet,
tough. I
with
know.
the jet, you could just go straight
You've been home
in way less time.
70 minutes. Or
Exactly. Yeah. it's yeah. So that's honestly my ideal usage of the license I'm trying to get. But real estate is definitely something I want to dive into or get into. Like for me personally, I think that there's a lot of potential, especially here and also Florida. The Miami market for apartments and condos is out of this world.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the most expensive cities to live in.
Seriously, that's
yeah.
where I want to live.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
And I've seen
Because it's international.
yeah, and it's a big city. It's huge.
Big.
It's huge. So especially like a beachfront condo. Oh my God, give me a break. How much would you say it's a beachfront condo?
A beachfront condo, you're gonna spend $2 million. At least.
Yeah. Jeez, bro. And okay. How much a month do you think that is in rent?
A mortgage should be $12,000 a month.
See, they don't say that on the websites. They don't be saying that on the website. It's nice. It's modern. Like, okay, can you pull up one of those?
So you're gonna make $600,000 a year.
I mean, listen. That's a dream, right? That's a dream. Golly, that's $600,000, $12,000 a month.
For a $2 million
luxury Miami apartment, Miami, Florida. Gang, can you
I mean,
spell?
you're gonna rent it or you're gonna buy it? I mean, a
Let's
mortgage.
say no. Let's say like what people do. I think rent. Want to live there. Yeah, I mean, I want to live there.
There might
full-time,
be
but
there might be something available for $6,000 or $8,000 a month.
sometimes go on, man.
So go to rental. Right under the Zillow up top, there's for sale. You can hit that and go
For rent.
Yeah. Apply.
Look at zoom into the map and get some beachfront.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can get
Miami Beach is up to the north, to the top right there. There you go, over to the right.
$8,000 a month.
$8,000 a month. What did I say?
Yeah, that's golly. 2 tennis courts though. She
I was playing tennis.
No, yeah, exactly. 2 tennis courts on the bright side.
Soon it'll be 4 pickleball courts.
Okay, yeah.
But go to Miami Beach.
Yeah, go Miami
to
Beach.
the top right. To the right there.
Is it lagging or is it just a delay?
No, Google Miami Beach instead of Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
There.
Man, $8,000 a month. Oh, what just happened to the TV?
Obviously, the mistake was
Apologies, I don't know what just happened with the TV. Did you disconnect?
including cases where
Go to settings and then go to devices and then connect again. But anyway,
So would you say it's like good intentions gone awry?
in this particular case,
See, this is why you have,
this is
your
why we have
first.
people. This is why we have.
hopefully held to a high
Yeah,
bar.
this was not happening.
Clearly take responsibility for it.
But it's okay. We're gonna forget it. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, whatever.
Edit that out.
Yeah, it's whatever. I might just keep that in there just for shits and giggles, whatever. But $8,000 a month though, that's
a lot.
That's
So
steep.
yeah, you gotta. So you're gonna spend $96,000 a year, call it $100, for your rent, and
Did it work?
You're gonna make
Whatever.
$400,000 a year, and you're gonna spend 25% of your income on rent.
Forget about it. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, Miami sounds like a great place to live. But
Now
then
you can get $200,000, make $200,000 a year and have a roommate.
yeah, and have to split. Yeah. Cut a check.
That's what like if it was do like they're buying like a Lamborghini, they pay it 4 ways. Like so they
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one bedroom, 1 bathroom, like by Miami Beach is like $285 a month, so $2,850 a month.
28,
Most
50 a month.
expensive is $25,000.
25,000 probably.
Forget about it, man.
And some of those buildings along the beach, they're actually they're not doing very well. They're actually sinking.
Yeah.
The
Florida's
Porsche,
sinking.
the Porsche building.
Florida's sinking. That's actually
Well, when you
insane.
build a place on sand, they drill down to bedrock, and all those buildings are engineered to sink a little bit. It's not unusual.
I heard the whole state is sinking. The whole state of Florida is sinking. So it's gonna be underwater by like
Is it sinking or is the water rising?
Water rights.
yeah, I think water rising.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the whole state of Florida is kind of like
What's snowing there today? So not in Miami.
it was snowing in Panama City. Man,
Yeah.
it would suck to go to
Snowing.
Hey kids, we're on a vacation, Panama City. During what's the day? The
23rd.
23rd. So it was snowing the 19th. So imagine people who are on vacation in Panama City right now,
Yeah.
and it's snowing.
I have a question for you. Do you have any like investment properties that you own?
No. I mostly land.
Yeah.
I have I'm at my farm. I have a farm with retired horses, and we have a rental house there that I rent out. But it's nothing. Not really an investment. It's just kind of came along with the farm.
Yeah.
What do you kind of think of like the new Airbnb trend, kind of like people leasing and or renting like homes and stuff? Like, do you think you see yourself doing that in the future?
I mean, a lot of younger people over COVID, over the last 4 years now, have, and they could work remotely. They've it's like, oh, I'm going to go to Denver for the next 6 months, and they get an Airbnb for 6 months and work remotely from Denver. Or I want to go to Phoenix. I want to go to Austin, Texas. I want to go to Miami. And you guys have had that latitude, but I think what you're seeing is they're going back to working in the office. So
I thought Florida was cheaper than just $8,000 a month. I thought it was cheaper. than
Miami,
that.
you just picked the most
Yeah,
expensive.
Miami. Yeah, Miami. Okay, so what about like Palm Beach? Because we just got back from Palm Beach. What
Yeah.
about Palm Beach? Like, what do you
Not
think?
a lot of rentals in Palm Beach. It's really expensive in
Yeah.
Palm Beach.
Golly. So what do you think is the best course of action if I wanted to like move to Florida? Because that's something I want to do
Yeah,
eventually.
sure.
Like when I'm in my like 20,
You don't have to live on the beach.
21. Facts.
I mean, it's exponentially more expensive when you can see the water.
Yeah. So how much? Like, where do you think? Like, what's the best course of action you think to move to? Like, I don't know, Miami or Palm Beach. I don't know about Palm Beach, but like Fort
You're
Lauderdale.
going to go to the U?
No, I'm not going to college. I'm going to flight school and real estate, and also focus on this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not going to college. But
College isn't for everyone.
yeah, no, especially not
It's
me.
about experience.
Yeah, and I feel like I have good enough connections to not go. So I talked to a bunch of people, But what do you think? 'Cause I want to move down to Florida like I'm 2021 eventually. So what do you think is the best course of action for that right now?
Well, back to a partner, which right now is your family.
Yeah.
And a mentor. Who else do you know down there? Somebody's been there before. I haven't lived in Miami. It's a very fast-moving town, international, very international. And your nemesis would be the nightlife, probably.
Man, it's loud there. Yeah, it's very loud. I mean, it's parties all night, every day. Yeah, that's the one thing. I feel like I'm a very like fast paced. I'm trying to become more fast paced, and I feel like Miami would kind of suit my personality a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like it'd be great down there.
We could go down there and try it out.
Yeah. Because I mean, you are the family real estate agent, so yeah.
Could find an apartment, something small, tiny for, probably $2,500 a month. Then you could. Live in
it just depends on what I'm making. That's really what. Kind of closing out. One of the things I wanted to ask you was like, how do you handle the pressure and the fast pacedness of the real estate industry and also transactions? Like, how do you handle the pressure of that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Real estate's not for everyone. People could go months without seeing a paycheck, and there's a lot of pressure to that. I have a family, and but I've been doing it a long time, so it's probably the most difficult part of it, dealing with that pressure. So you work hard, you play hard. You need to have balance in your life. I play golf with your dad. Yeah. I enjoy getting out to the golf club, the golf course, and being in nature. And I like fishing. I like being with my family and watching my wife and kids ride their horses, and love watching my son play lacrosse when he did that. My life's changing. My son just got married and starting their families.
Congrats.
Thank you. In November. So my family grew. I have a new daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
And so the pressure's difficult. Yeah, but you got to maintain balance of work hard, play hard.
Yeah. In your experience, what's the most common mistake that people make when buying a house or selling a house? What are some of the most common mistakes that people make?
Common mistake when you're buying a house. It's interesting. Friend of mine, a mentor of mine, it was a builder. He said, I only get to sell. He was building his house. I was like, why don't you take that deal? It's a fair deal. It's in the ballpark. He goes, I only get to sell this house once as the builder. So he thought it was worth more, but the idea of him sticking to his principle, it wasn't unreasonable. The buyer was probably too aggressive. I like that idea, but I think if you should be in any investment for a long term, so you don't want to look at if you're going to sell it in a year, you are lucky to break even because you're going to buy the house, you're going to put blinds in it, you're going to paint it, you're going to improve it, and new appliances, or buy a lawnmower, and there's things you're going to do to invest in that property, and but over the long term, especially in a place like Columbus, where you can look at the statistics, it's grown substantially over the last 4 years, the value of real estate. Historically, Columbus has been kind of a 3 to 5% a year kind of community, because it's in the Mideast. I don't call it the Midwest. I think Columbus is more Mideast than Midwest. But yeah, I think the mistake you make, not buying in the best locations, even if you have to pay a little more for the better location. You should pay more for the better location, or buy less in the better location.
Yeah, man, I feel like that's key, because I feel like some people sometimes settle for what's the cheapest option, and then it ends up screwing themselves
better be ready to wait it out.
Yeah,
If
because people don't have patience.
no.
So is that something that you kind of deal with a lot? Is people sometimes just want to rush the process?
I'm not the type of agent that rushes my client. Deals that go together quickly oftentimes fall apart because people don't. There are, through the process of a real estate purchase agreement, you have attorney review and you have inspections and you have contingencies that allow a buyer to terminate the contract. If there's an inspection and there's a structural defect in the property, they can terminate the contract. There are reasons for buyers or sellers to terminate a contract through the process of a deal. So you just don't want to rush into a deal.
Yeah.
If you do rush into it, a lot of times it'll get canceled.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on to the show today.
Happy to be.
Thank you for being a part of the first episode recorded for the Red Zone.
I love the Red Zone.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a catchy name. It was called the Red Show at first, but then I changed it to the Red Zone. It's more catchy. So
I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Stick with that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, thank you again for taking the time out of your day to, have sit down, and talk about your life and your experiences and whatnot. So I think it's very cool to, hear. I'm excited to get this episode out. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow my man Alan Hinson over here. It's at the Red Zone Pod on YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, guys, make sure to leave a review, 5 stars. If you don't like 5, if it's not 5 stars, then make it 4, whatever. But I appreciate you guys listening. And yeah, anything you want to say?
No.
No.
Have a great day.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna see y'all.
Cheers.
Peace.